This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Hey, it's your boy Miguel G with the Value of Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I have a guest for you, folks.
Yeah, that part. Hey, man, shout out to Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We're going to shut this shit down. Love and respect, all right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, bro.
Oh, you didn't know? We are back and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Value of Wrestling. This is your Smackdown post-show review for January 19th. It's Smackdown, it's WWE, it's Friday night, and what a night, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, and we're going to get right into it. Of course, you know, joining me all the time, the one, the only.
Paulus Clarke.
Oh, believe that. And of course, Master New Japan Pro Wrestling of the Encyclopedia Britannica of New Japan Pro Wrestling for Value of Wrestling. Miguel Z is hiding out in the chats. I'm only in reference tonight. I have ahead of me, kind of, sir. I don't know what his whole said. I got a heart in the way. Anyways, you know me. I'm the one, the only, the big time. We're here to rock it, hold it down, and talk about SmackDown. Anyways, we open SmackDown tonight. Roman Reigns is here, and we start off with AJ Styles in the ring, and then LA Knight, and then Randy Orton. They all come out. They sign the contract Nick Aldis has, and now we call out Roman Reigns, but instead out comes Paul Heyman, who says they just got here and haven't had a chance to look over their contracts or had their lawyers look at the contract. Yada yada yada. Aldis says so they won't be signing the contract. Heyman says. And Aldis says that's fine because the three who have already signed can wrestle for the vacated Universal title. Heyman gets on the apron to say he admires the mediocre job that Aldis has done. He praises Aldis' fashion sense, but says no one can sell this kind of decision to anyone because Reigns should be defending the title in a one-on-one match. Knight cuts him off and says that one-on-one match should be his because the bloodline cost him the title at Crown Jewel. Styles says Knight walked over him to get the title shot again. The fight is on. Leaving Orton or Knight and Styles start fighting to the back. This leaves Orton alone with Heyman. He grabs his mic and Orton promises to take out Slow tonight and then go on to RKO Reigns. So we got a good opening to the show, and we got to set up for AJ Styles LA Knight match later tonight. Your thoughts on the opening?
It's about what I expected from this opening segment. As you saw, each man come out, sign the contract. For whatever reason, they want to continue AJ and LA Knight as a side feud over the main feud of, this everyone against the bloodline. I think it was cool. I mean, it continued the story.
From there, we got the LWO versus Legado del Fantasma 2. This is the 2.0 version. Lena Vega out here with the LWO. We get Del Toro and Wild along with Carlito, who's actually wearing an LWO shirt this time. They're going in there against Santos Escobar, Garza, and Humberto, or Angel, in this match. We get a good solid match here, as you expect, between all three of these men. Escobar makes a blind tag, though, and rolls up Carlito for the pin at 8 minutes, 25 seconds. And Santos, Angel, and Humberto take the win here and continue on with another big pickup win here. Good solid match, though, between all these guys. Your thoughts?
For this feud to continue, Legado had to get the win, really. Because if the LWO just squashes them, it's like, well, okay, so what's the point of this feud then?
Yeah. Anyways, Brother Daddy is ready to face Tyler Bate and Butch. And Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are ready for the final testament. Just name the time and place. From there, we get a tag team match. Pretty Deadly come out. And then we get Tyler Bate, the strong young boy, comes out. Are you a strong young boy, Mr. Clarke? And, of course,
I wish.
We finally get the awaited and finally get the return of Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight is here. Old attire, we get the full-scale Bruiserweight of Pete Dunne, and we get a good, solid match here between Pretty Deadly, looking pretty solid, doing what they do. They're still fairly young and new on the tag team scene. And Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne making this big return. You knew what was going to happen here. done to give Prince the bitter end for a pin at 7 minutes 22 seconds. This is a good, solid match. Pretty Deadly looks really good here. Tyler Bate and, of course, Pete Dunne making his official return. It's what you expected. Pretty Deadly whined and cried afterwards. They weren't ready for Pete Dunne. They didn't know who Pete Dunne was. They've never seen Pete Dunne in his life. I love how they sold that. So this should be a good feud to continue with. Glad to see Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, the strong style of British wrestling, or British strong style.
Yeah. And this is going to be fantastic. Whether this is a long-term feud or just short-term, either way, I love seeing British strong style together. So, I mean, like, they're starting to really, get that tag team division going.
Yes.
Just overall over here on SmackDown.
Yes. Pretty Deadly still kind of finding their ground. They've got a niche, but, right now they're kind of, trying to help other people get going. And this was a good match. We know this Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Pretty Deadly will probably continue for a little bit longer before they move on to whatever's next. Oh, we get a recap of Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, with Paul threatening Owens with a lawsuit over the show, or over a shot with the cast. And, of course, Pretty Deadly was pretty livid about Pete Dunne. They're like, we were supposed to get Butch, but we don't get him. We get this Pete Dunne guy. They did a great scene here. Here's Kevin Owens for the KO show. Out comes Paul. They bicker back and forth. Paul basically blames Owens, KO, for why he joined WWE, and showed a recap of WrestleMania 37 when Owens stunned Logan Paul in front of 70,000 people, and that's why Logan Paul became a wrestler and why he's here today. They continue their feud. They yammer back and forth. Owens finally says that's fine. He'll take off the cast. As he took off the cast, Logan Paul nailed Owens with his fist, knocked him down. Logan was celebrating, but Owens got right back up. He tried to go after Paul. They ducked. They eventually wound up outside, and Logan Paul took Kevin Owens' bad arm that he had taken the cast off into the ring post and was attacking it to continue the storyline. I think we're going to get a really good match at the Royal Rumble between these two. Can't wait for next Saturday. Your thoughts on the KO show tonight?
Man, it's just a week from tomorrow. Can't wait. KO, Logan Paul. Yes. Here's my money. Take my money.
Yeah, it should be a great match. Reigns just yells at the Bloodline, but Solo Sikoa steps up, says last week it was on him. Tonight he will fix it. And then we get Caden Carter and Katana Chance versus the Unholy Union. Alba Fry and Isla Dawn are challenging Damage Control at ringside. And we get a good match between these four. Not a very long match. Fry rolls up, gets two, but it's a Canadian Destroyer into the assisted spinning moonsault for the pin. Katana Chance and Caden Carter retain the titles at 2 minutes 52 seconds. The Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane grab the titles and present them to the winners in fashion. And we get a moment there, so it looks like we're going to get the Kabuki Warriors versus Katana Chance and Caden Carter at some point in the future. They didn't really tell us when. Your thoughts on this short match?
We already saw that this was going to be the story anyways.
Yeah.
Because Bayley had been promoting the Kabuki Warriors. We're going to go for the WWE Women's Tag Champ titles.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little funny seeing them kind of playing around with the titles, kind of mocking Caden Carter and Katana Chance. But it's like, there's not really much you can do to build this story until it's time to have the match. So, I mean, you can have them attack him, I guess, but that's just, I guess, tried and true stuff.
Very, very true. From there, we get a quick tribute to Pat Patterson, who started the Royal Rumble, and he would have been 83 today. Final Testament does their little promo about the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Good segment here. They're getting Karrion Kross definitely over, along with the Street Profits. Or not the Street Profits, the Authors of Pain. So, I mean, a good segment here. It's good to see that they're trying to really do something and push this Karrion Kross storyline on, and we'll have to see how this plays out. Your thoughts?
I mean, it speaks for itself. Karrion Kross is getting more over on the mic than he is in ring, which is a little scary only because he's a pretty decent worker when they give him the opportunity. But hey, at some point, however you get over, it's how you get over. I'm good with the fact that he's good on the mic.
Yep. From there, we get to talk to Carmelo Hayes, who gets an interview. Carmelo Hayes, of course, had the match with Austin Theory last week. They both suffered facial contusions, very minor injuries, in a very scary spot. Carmelo Hayes was out here for an interview, gets interrupted by Austin Theory and Grayson Waller about, why do you get this time? You almost took me out of my career. Hayes says, fine, let's run it back next week. Austin Theory says he's busy, but then Grayson Waller's like, no, you can. And so Grayson Waller accepts the match for Carmelo Hayes, Austin Theory next week. And Theory stops and looks at Waller after Carmelo Hayes walks off and goes, you have to quit doing that. Segment restart that match and throw it back.
But you saw that happening when we all saw that. It's like once we saw I don't want to say the injury, but I'm saying once we saw what had happened last week, you knew at some point they were going to run it back so we could see the full match of like how this was supposed to go.
And speaking of injuries, it seems like Seth Rollins is injured with an MCL tear, a meniscus tear. Can take anywhere to a couple weeks to a couple months for that to heal. So we don't know. He's supposed to be on Raw with a major announcement about his future with the world title. Will he have to vacate the world title? Will they put the world title on the line at the Royal Rumble? Whoever wins the Royal Rumble is going to win that world title. What does this change? We're going to have to wait till Raw, but they did make a special announcement that Seth Rollins will be opening up Monday Night Raw about his future with the world title. I know a lot of people are yammering and talking about Seth Rollins going to have to forfeit the title. I don't know if he'll necessarily have to forfeit the title. We'll have to wait to see. Of course, this could lead into a Damian Priest cash-in earlier than we thought, just to take the title and move it in a different direction. And for the meantime, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I mean, Karrion Kross could cash in, pin Rollins real quick, take the money, take the championship, and then face, still could do him versus CM Punk. CM Punk could hold on to the title until Seth Rollins comes back. Because you could still do Seth Rollins, CM Punk at SummerSlam. That's, I don't think Seth Rollins is going to be out that long. Yes, I know you're there. Hi. Anyways, we have AJ Styles versus LA Knight. We will have to see. And we're going to get a solid match between these two, back and forth, just pretty much beating the snot out of each other. Eventually, Jimmy Uso comes out for the distraction. Solo Sikoa comes into Spike Knight for the DQ. This match went 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Solo Spike Styles as well, saying the two are down, one to go, and he calls out Randy Orton. We have a break, and now our main event, Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa. This was pretty much just a brawl. They fought outside for a little bit. We get the hanging DDT, cue Jimmy, but Jimmy was coming down the ramp, but LA Knight cut him off. Uso tried to run away, ran into AJ Styles. And they come back down to the ring. Solo loads up for a spike. Orton isn't having that. Hits an RKO. Hits the pin at 5 minutes, 18 seconds. Post-match, Knight drops Styles, but gets RKO. Styles gets up and gets an RKO for himself, just for Roman to turn around and get a Superman punch. Reigns signs the contract, drops it in front of Aldis. He looks to spear Orton, but Orton is up and hits him with an RKO. With that being said, you really didn't have anything to talk about in these matches. These were pretty much just continuing the feud for what's going to happen next week at the Rumble. Just stirring up everything. Of course, we'll have to see how next week ends. Randy getting the one-upmanship here makes me believe that Randy probably won't win. I don't see anybody but Roman somehow winning this all in the end, but we will see. Your thoughts on that closing?
There's options that three of these other guys could win the match. And that's, obviously the setup of expectation that they're going for. But I don't think Roman's dropping the title at Rumble. I really don't.
No, I think you're going to get Cody and Roman. Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. Wow. I don't know what else to say about the show. It was a decent show. We got some good matches. We got Pete Dunne back. We got AJ Styles and LA Knight. Yeah. We got the bruiserweight and the strong young boy.
There's no more question marks. There's no more asterisks to his name. This is Pete Dunne. We're getting the bruiserweight.
Yes.
This is all those of us who followed him in NXT. This is all we wanted. We wanted him in, because the work, the ethic, the in-ring work was always there. The character work was great as Butch. I understand what that character was, but we all wanted Pete Dunne. Name and everything. Now we have him in full package.
Yeah.
I am so happy, so elated about that.
Mr. Z, I don't know if Solo will ever turn on Roman. I think the possibilities are that Roman will lose the title at WrestleMania to Cody. The story will go on, and Solo Sikoa, Roman will go away, so Solo Sikoa will step into the tribal chief role as he's already been deemed to. He will take the head of the table to continue that story with Jimmy. But I think possibly when Roman returns, if they don't have anything else planned for him, Roman may be turning on Solo more than I ever see Solo turning on Roman, because it doesn't necessarily make sense in the short time we have left right now. It's definitely about Cody Roman, and after that, I think Roman goes away for a while, and then I think you just have Solo step into that spotlight, and then when he comes back and he doesn't want to give up the tribal spot, then Roman and him may have a feud, depending on what they're going to do.
That's what the big idea for his reset is, absolutely.
Yeah. Are we going to get a babyface Roman when he comes back from his time off? I don't know. It depends on a lot of things going forward. But it is good to have Pete Dunne back. We have British strong style going on. We have Japanese strong style with Shinsuke Nakamura. Maybe a few more will join the leagues of WWE. We know Okada's name is being thrown around all over the place now that New Japan Pro Wrestling has officially put out a statement that his contract ends at the end of January, but he's still obligated till the end of February, pretty much. He'll have 3 matches to complete in February, so it'll be very interesting how he moves forward under those guidelines and with who. We know where he can go.
Thrown around the same way Mercedes Moné's name's being thrown around to every damn company.
Yeah, Mercedes Moné's stuff has quieted down a little bit. I guess people have given up hope.
A little bit, but it's still out there. like it's still being.
Well, now they're trying to sell this narrative. They're trying to sell this narrative with Mariah May, Deonna Purrazzo, and some of the other names that are coming into AEW. That they're trying to create the women's division around Mercedes Moné. They're trying to give her competitors.
Yeah, that narrative.
So I'm like, why are we all trying to go, oh, well, he's bringing all these people in for her. I'm like, well, why doesn't he just bring her in? I mean, what's the point in building this whole thing around to be, I don't know. Of course, Bayley and Mercedes Moné were seen at TNA Hard to Kill together. So you have to wonder how much of a friendship impacts her decision. So
look, it's not uncommon, regardless of what company you work for, to go to a show of another company because you have friends there.
Yes. No, I'm not saying anything's wrong about it. She was.
I know you're not, but I mean, the way people speculate about it.
I'm just saying she was hanging out with Bayley. How much of a friendship would be a weight? I want to be around my friends. And of course, I think she's got friends in AEW. Of course, we don't know. I guess Trinity is still sort of with TNA, but after Hard to Kill, she did a big flower moment and said, thank you. I'm thinking she's out the door. I think she's wrapping up her contract. Will she be at the Rumble? I don't know. We've seen TNA wrestlers show up at WWE Royal Rumbles before. Mickie James showed up with the Women's Championship, so maybe Trinity shows up still working under a TNA contract. Who knows?
It's a possibility.
Next Saturday is going to be awesome. Of course, the official news, Elimination Chamber will air at 2 a.m. Eastern or Pacific Standard Time on February 24th. So that's going to be an interesting time to try and figure out how that's going to go. I know on the East Coast it's probably going to be better because it starts at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, that's not as bad as 2 a.m. on the East Coast to try and figure out how to get up and watch it and then do a review and all the normal stuff in life.
That's a damn commitment, and that's all I'm going to say.
I know.
However we decide to handle that one.
When we get there, we'll get there. When we get there, we'll get there. Probably have to be one of those things we'll just have to get up, watch it, and get on. Because if we let it go, we'll hear too many rumors or spoilers, and then we'll be disappointed. Anywho, I know this is a shorter show. We haven't even hit 30-minute mark. That's sad. I am totally sorry that we're not. There wasn't a whole lot to happen on SmackDown tonight. Not a whole lot to talk about. Of course, I'm not 110% today, so I'm managing through this the best I can. And
I think we all appreciate the fact that you're in the game regardless.
As long as there's a breath of me, I will be here. I mean, I didn't start this just to half-ass it. This is something important to me, and I'm going to give it my all. So unless I don't have a voice, I'll be here one way or another. Anyways, I know this is a shorter SmackDown review. There's not a whole lot to hype, a whole lot to build on. We know Survivor Series is next Saturday, and we'll be back on Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with the weekly roundup right here on the Value Wrestling. We'll join my Miguel of the Z. We discuss everything that's happened this week in the world of professional wrestling, which has kind of been a quiet week. Not a whole lot of big news. And we will continue on. But I do thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this. If you're watching this later, we appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that like button. Share this video out with others. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to reach a goal of 1,000. That's our big next number to hit. And we're well on our way to get there. We just need each and every one of you to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who supports us and then tunes in to watch these videos. We shall be back on Sunday with a longer video. But until then, I think it's time to say la-di-da-di and farewell. Anything you want to say before we close out?
I don't think there's anything happening Saturday that we care about besides Collision. Like,
Nope.
Enjoy your weekend, folks. We'll see you Sunday.
There you go.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.